Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the address by our chief guest, Director, Development and Impact Division of the International Planned Parenthood Federation, whom we're very thrilled to have here in Sri Lanka and to grace us at our inauguration ceremony and conference. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to Ms. Manuelle Hurwitz.
Dear colleagues, distinguished partners, allies, dear friends, it is a profound honor to join you all today at the opening of the ReproSex 2024 conference, to see the gathering of experts, researchers, advocates, and visionaries who have come together here in Sri Lanka fills me with great joy. This conference is a landmark, and it represents an essential milestone for sexual and reproductive health, not only for Sri Lanka, but for the global community. I want to particularly acknowledge the leadership and the board of FPA Sri Lanka, Professor Indralal de Silva, in having the foresight and the courage in organizing a conference on sex reproductive health and rights at such a critical time. Because sexual and reproductive health and rights has never been as important as today. In 2024, the world marked the 30th anniversary of the 1994 International Conference on Population and Development, ICPD, in Cairo. Since then, the global rate of unintended pregnancy has fallen by nearly 20% globally. The number of women using modern contraceptive methods has doubled. Today, at least 162 countries have adopted laws against domestic violence, and maternal deaths have decreased by 34% since 2000. These are unmistakably significant achievements. Yet, limited political will, inadequate funding, health workforce shortages, and the prioritization of certain aspects of sexual and reproductive health and rights over others have hindered progress. And millions of people are still denied access to fundamental sexual and reproductive health and rights. A recent study from The Lancet has shown that progress in reducing maternal deaths plateaued between 2016 and 2020. And in 2024, roughly 1 out of 10 women worldwide who want to stop or delay childbearing are not using a method of contraception. Abortion remains criminalized in many countries of the world, in spite of ongoing evidence that criminalization does not reduce abortion rates, but rather increases maternal morbidity and mortality due to unsafe abortion. Changing demographic patterns with fertility declines in some regions and rapid growth in others present additional complexities. Gender and socioeconomic inequalities and discrimination have widened, leaving some communities behind, and attacks against sexual and reproductive rights have intensified with increased risk to frontline sexual and reproductive health defenders and providers. Humanitarian crises multiply. You just need to see the news every day, including climate emergencies and conflicts, further exacerbating gender inequalities and limiting people's access to sexual and reproductive health. The United Nations estimate that 300 million people will need humanitarian assistance and protection in 2024. And as you heard from Dr. Iqbal Shah, today's 1.3 billion adolescents are not only the largest age group, but also the most diverse the world has ever seen. For them, progress is never fast enough, and ensuring they have access to information and services through meaningful engagement remains a priority. Today is a big day, not only because it's the start of this important conference, but because the US is voting. And the implication of a Trump administration will go on sexual and reproductive health and rights, will go not just beyond sexual and reproductive health and rights, and also not just beyond the US, not just the US, but will impact us far wider. It will impact funding as well as the erosion of democratic norms and the shrinkage of civil space. So we'll have a couple of probably days to see whether to fear the worst or to breathe a sigh of relief. These challenges could be paralyzing, but our sector is strong and resilient. On the contrary, what this shows is the critical role that non-governmental organizations like IPPF and country partners like FPA Sri Lanka, as well as partners from the academic world, community-based organizations, and supportive donors continue to play in meeting sexual and reproductive health and rights needs. Together, we can take advantage of the many opportunities that exist. Dr. Iqbal Shah mentioned a couple already offered by new technologies, and there are others offered by new product development, whether in contraception, medical abortion, or biomedical prevention of HIV, to just give a few examples. At the International Planned Parenthood Federation, we are deeply committed to advancing research and fostering knowledge sharing. This commitment is enshrined in our strategy, Come Together, specifically through the pillar of innovate and sharing knowledge. Research and evaluation are not mere technical exercises. They are the foundations that empower us to understand, improve, and innovate in response to evolving needs. In all our work, we strive to create evidence-based programs that are impactful, inclusive, and transformative. ReproSex 2024 aligns beautifully with this mission. It is a testament to the spirit of innovation, evidence, and partnership that is at the core of IPPF's values. It is through conferences like this that we realize the full power of collaboration, bringing together minds that are eager to share, listen, and learn. These exchanges are the bedrock upon which we build policies and programs that will foster progress and create lasting change. For IPPF and member associations, ReproSex represent a unique opportunity to reflect on the progress we have made, as well as the work that still lies ahead. This conference underscores the significance of having strong, committed member associations like FPA Sri Lanka that are unafraid to lead, to challenge, and to innovate. As one of IPPF's oldest member associations, established over 70 years ago, FPA Sri Lanka holds a special place in our federation. Throughout its journey, FPA Sri Lanka has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to advancing sexual and reproductive health and rights to all Sri Lankans. Today, I am especially inspired by FPA Sri Lanka's commitment to fostering a result-based culture driven by data. I would like to thank FPA Sri Lanka again for having the vision to bring us together as a strong and united movement, giving space for research and evidence to be shared and discussed, and for learning from program implementation to be disseminated. I carry the best wishes from IPPF Director General, Dr. Alvaro Bermejo, and the Regional Director, Tomoko Fukuda. I know both of them would have been delighted to be here in person and will be here in spirit. Let us enjoy this conference. I know it will inspire us, excite us, and bring us closer together while allowing evidence and new ideas to flourish. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here and for also highlighting the importance of today's conference.